about yourself.
But Courtney, there are accusations that I use performance enhancers.
Okay.
That's like saying to Bonds, McGuire, and Sosa during the heart of their run in the late 90s, early 2000s, you're a great home run hitter. Are you really saying that, or are you saying that there are PEDs to allegedly
I think
to
it's
do that?
a little different.
I don't think so.
You know, the scale of those things. We're saying you look good. We're saying you look fresh.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll take
Accept
it.
it, Evan.
Refresh.
Receive it.
What?
Accept it, receive it.
Yeah, no. So the Pistons did win last night. Am I like? I find this to be emotional. Is not the right word, obviously. I mean, I'm sure it was emotional for him, but like,
of course.
This is real. This is you have a collapsed lung. There's more of a God forbid. Luka and Austin Reeves are trying to fight their way back. Hamstring and oblique. Like, all right, if they get re-injured, that sucks. That's awful. We feel terrible for them. Their livelihood is not in danger. This guy came back from a point where his livelihood was in danger. Breathing is kind of important.
Not just his livelihood, which is the money he earns, but his life, his
That's what I'm
quality
saying,
of life.
yeah.
Yes.
And it happened 3 weeks ago. This wasn't
Which feels
something
like
that
a quick
happened
turnaround,
like
right?
3 months ago.
Right.
3 weeks ago, middle of March, Shams was reporting at the time he was out indefinitely. So we all thought, is he going to have enough time to ramp up for the playoffs? Is he going to be putting himself in a position where he's got a couple days after the regular season ends before the 18th when the playoffs start? 3 weeks. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how lungs regenerate themselves or heal themselves that quickly, but my goodness, that to me, the timeline part of this of how quickly he came back is.
So your mind went to the same place.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Like, awesome to be back, but are you sure about this?
Well, that's why they used him in those short stints last night, 26 minutes overall. I was interested to see the cadence in which they would use him last night because you obviously want to get him back in the rhythm of playing and especially the breathing, I'm sure, rhythm. That's different than anything else when you're running in spurts like that, explosive plays, explosive movements. So I think it's good for him and good for them that they do have a little bit of a ramp-up period for him to get back acclimated to playing at this level before the playoffs. But I, too, was a little surprised at the turnaround.
Yeah, and he has 2 games. They have 2 games left, the Detroit Pistons. They're 58-22. My guesstimation in Friday's game at Charlotte, Sunday's game at Indiana, they're the number 1 seed. It's locked in. My guesstimation is they want to win both of them because they want to get to 60. 60 feels like we did it, we got there, etc. But Cade Cunningham leads us into a whole different conversation. So he's played 61 games. 2 more is 63. They're going to petition the league. I think it's 61 to get to 63 if he plays the next 2, if I'm not mistaken. He's not 62 to get to 64. Excuse me.
He'd be one shy of the threat of the 65
So he's going to be one
threshold.
shy of the 65 game threshold. Now, what does that mean? The league now has a mandated rule that in order to be eligible for postseason awards, you must play 65 games or more. Now, why is that important? Obviously, everyone would love to win an award or be a first, second, third team MVP. That's great. That's an honor, et cetera. It proves your work and it proves your value to your team. There also is a financial value because you are eligible. I don't want to get into all the details, but you're eligible long-term for more money the more times you are on first, second, third team or you're an MVP, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a financial part of it as well. And he is going to petition the league, just like Luka is, saying, hey, we should be eligible, et cetera. I don't know that they're going to win that. And Brian Windhorst, ESPN Senior NBA Insider Hoop Collective podcast, available wherever podcasts are found, was on PTI yesterday and gave this response as to whether or not the league is going to change anything with this 65-game rule.
I think the league likes the rule. I think it is functioning. There are moments with it that I think make the league look a little punitive here. Actually, one of the things that I've learned is I watch these players really stretch to get to this limit. They really like these awards. Whatever they want to say, their actions indicate they care about getting onto these lists and getting into these honors. And here's the thing, I'll just put forth Nikola Jokic. He has been sitting with a game to spare now for 5-6 weeks, and he has continued to play and continued to play. He can't say he doesn't care about awards either. But I also think that it just shows how many of games would he have maybe missed if he didn't have to hit that. The behavior of the star players indicates that this number means something. And yes, you can point to the players who may miss the award, a chance to get an award by a game or two. The league would privately point to, look how many players got it by a game or two, and look how many games they played, including national television games, which was the point of all this. So while it is unpopular, it is working, whether anybody wants to admit it publicly or not.
Quick follow-up from Wendy on that before we dive into it. Players like awards or players like money?
Money. Because the award is tied to money, like
Right.
you just laid out with the future earnings that you can be eligible for. I don't think. I mean, of course, like it'd be cool to say I have an MVP, I win 6th Man of the Year, I'm a part of the first team All NBA. But when it's tied financially to your earnings, eventually of what you can earn, that's way more important than any piece of hardware.
Guys, of course, want the cash, but listen to what Victor Wembanyama said about winning the MVP and how much it mattered to him because
Sure.
he is in pursuit of excellence.
And by the way, he has
Greatness.
to play 20 minutes
Right.
in one game because he's been banged up too. That's another interesting storyline. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Will he get it? I imagine he's going to go for it because of the way he's spoken about the MVP.
Right.
He looks at that as a measure of his growth and him keeping pace with the great ones in this league because he wants to be a great one. So I think it's definitely a combination of the two.
So the league's not going to change it. Is what basically what Wendy's saying is people can complain. Luka can complain. I don't want to say complain. They file a complaint, right? Cade Cunningham can file a complaint or challenge it, etc. Joker has 64 games played. He's going to obviously surpass that. Wemby has, 63, 64? Like, so they did this to themselves, though, did they not? The players? No, the players.
Well,
they weren't playing.
These players, I don't think we can lump these players into the group that caused the NBA to put the 65 game rule in there in the first place.
Which players are you talking about then?
Guys in the past. I mean, I think that you can kind of pick a whole bunch who load managed their way into the NBA creating this legislation. Now, I think the rule works. I'm with Wendy on that. I think it's a good setup to be able to incentivize players playing the minimum amount that you need to to qualify for the award. I do think that it works. I also think that Cade Cunningham, Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, if they don't meet that threshold of 65 games, there's now stipulation in the collective bargaining agreement with the extraordinary circumstances challenge that I think should be honored because it's very clear that these guys are trying to play. Cade Cunningham returned from a collapsed lung that happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He probably needs a little bit more time. Not that any of us have seen his scans or anything, but he probably would benefit from a little bit more time to ramp up, to get himself ready for when it really matters as the 1 seed in the postseason in the Eastern Conference. But very clearly, this award and all that it means, legacy and financially, means so much to him that he's rushing his way back to get it. So that should prove to the NBA that this wasn't somebody that fit into that category of why the rule needed to be created in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most unrelatable to everyday life things that sports has. The money is the most unrelatable to everyday life. But like, hey, I don't want to go to work. All right, no problem. What? Like, think about every single person. Like, I'm not into it today. Well, okay, cool. Use your vacation days. Now I'm surpassing my vacation days. I'm gonna load manage for the big season in whatever company it is, right? Like, hey, we have the biggest time of year. Make up a date. Give me a date. Any date.
May 1st.
May